Hi Aquarius, we are here with your reading for April 2023. I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm definitely seeing something about money coming through. If you have been working on something and you're waiting to see the results, you may see more than what you expected for them to be. It doesn't only have to be money. It can be like a goal and you end up like really exceeding what you had expected to exceed. Okay, charged energy for April. Not bad. You may have a feeling that something's coming to. It seems like it's going to allow you to relax, maybe in a way that you hadn't been feeling relaxed before. Or you weren't at the point where you could enjoy something. I'm seeing that's going to be happening, upcoming. For those of you that have children, you may be spending more time with them as well. Doesn't just have to be children. It can be things that you care about, things that you have meaningful connections to, people that you have meaningful connections to. If you like to do like art, creativity, things like that, you may be connecting with that again. It's like matters of the heart and things that you care about, things that mean something to you, things that have sentimental value as well, or emotional value. All right. Big balance. I'm seeing a focus on your Libran energy. All of us have a house where Libra sits for us. That may be a clue for you as to where this falls. For example, if you're a Libra rising, it can have to do with yourself. If Libra falls in your 11th house, there can be a focus on your friends and your networking. If Libra falls in your 7th house of relationships, can be a focus on your interpersonal relationships. For some of you, there's a focus on collaborating. Somebody that you're collaborating, somebody that you're collaborating with, somebody that you are working with. So how this works is that, say you're in a relationship working with somebody, it can be connected with that. Say you're working with like a doctor or something, you can be working with that person. Say that you are actively collaborating on a job, something like that. There's something about you working with another person and you also feeling the need to hold your own or kind of set boundaries as this is happening. So that may be a sticking point for you. This can also be family too. You may be developing more boundaries when it comes to family or people that you have close relationships with. There's a focus on you not just immediately saying yes to things. There's a focus on you being in a space where you're like, I'm going to consider things before I say yes. I'm going to consider it before I give an answer, before I respond. I want to think about it. Which definitely leads to success for you. This can also be like you've been being very deliberate with the choices that you're making, and that leads to success for you. Yes, this is being confirmed. Okay. Six of Wands is getting to a place. This is like really, really auspicious to see. To have the Queen of Wands, not the Queen of Wands, to have the Queen of Swords, this is you being in a space where there's like a filtration system. It's like when things come through, you don't automatically assume it's true. You're like checking your sources before you make decisions or before you go along with a suggestion. You're really checking back and being like, does that truly resonate with me? I really want to think about it and ask myself when I'm away from like the social pressure or the projected energy. Let me kind of go into my corner and think about this. It's very much like that Hermit energy before you then come back out and respond to a situation. There's something that you've been being very deliberate with, and it leads to some sort of success or victory for you. I'm seeing this be something that you would be very, very pleased with. Six of Wands can be like a battle too that you've been fighting, or something that's been very strenuous that now finally you get the reward of that. This is similar to the Chariot. However, the Chariot is kind of like you are surpassing things and moving through a situation, but the battle may not be done yet. This is like you've crossed the finish line now. So something has finished and there is success that comes along with it. And it's based off of the way that you've been like handling yourself and making decisions. It's based off of your air energy. So it's like how you've been thinking and processing and all of that. So yeah, there may even be like a psychological battle that you've been going through, or something that's been really tense for you that you're now coming out on the other side of. If something was coming through and presenting itself to you and you were like, I don't really feel like that is resonating with me, it looks like you were in a spot to say no to it. I'm seeing that's what the success is connected to. So if somebody was coming through and they were trying to give you something that you were like, you know what, when I think about it, I don't need that, or that doesn't resonate with me, or like, why would I be taking that on? Like, there's something that it doesn't completely agree with me. Resonating is about like vibrating on a compatible or similar frequency. And so like something's been coming in, and I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I don't really want to take that. But it may have been something that clashed with your goals, and that's why. For some of you, this was a person. And it can be a person just like doing their thing. It really doesn't have to do with like what type of person this is. It's just a person coming through and for whatever reason is not resonating with you. Whether this be like their ideas or suggestions or wanting to be in your life in a certain way, and you being like, I'm actually not really into that. Or somebody asking you to do something too. Like, it doesn't just have to be somebody trying to date you and you being like, no, I'm not really feeling you. It can be you being in a space where you're like, you know what, I have a really busy day today and I don't have time to do favors for anybody else. And somebody comes through and they're like, hey, can you do this favor for me? And you're like, no, I actually can't today, maybe tomorrow. Something like that, where there may be something that you've been working on when it comes to you advocating for yourself and your needs, and also the people close to you too. Queen of Swords is advocating for yourself, and also like the people or things that you are responsible for, that you see kind of like as an extension of yourself. Queen of Swords also does not so much allow the opinions of other people to affect them. It's like, if I have this boundary, it's okay if you don't like that I have this boundary. I have this boundary and I'm going to stick with it. Or I don't want to do that, and it's okay that you really want me to do that. I don't want to do that, and so I'm not going to do it. Like that. I'm seeing you feel so confident with the choices that you have been making. Yeah, it definitely has to do with the people that you've been interacting with closely around you. People that you've been working closely with. I'm seeing you also waiting for something that you want. I don't know why that's being confirmed, but this is being confirmed big time. There's something that you're waiting for that you want that you may not have seen happen yet. This is like being in a space where you've planted the seeds of manifestation in the garden. Like, you haven't seen them come up yet, but you know that they're under there doing something and that they're going to blossom at some point. They're going to break the soil and come out over top of it. And this is like that thing that you really want at the end. This is the direction that we're moving in. I'm seeing the Six of Wands is actually attached to this. So this means that whatever way this is that you have been nurturing this manifestation of yours, I'm seeing that's why you are successful with bringing this to fruition. That's why this is going to be happening. Very much about you and what you have been doing and how you've been doing this. This means, I want to say this too, this means that if something, again, is coming through for you and it's not resonating with you, that you're not just settling out of convenience. That's another big thing too. Not settling out of convenience. This is like, Queen of Swords is somebody that is going to keep the integrity intact. So you being in a space where you're like, I'm not compromising on the quality. Okay, so this wish fulfillment of yours, this thing that you deeply desire, this thing that you deeply want, I'm seeing it be connected like in the very center of the heart space for you. Something that you're looking into more so now. I'm seeing something that you're considering, something that you're thinking about, something that you're reflecting on. That may involve or be change-inducing. I'm looking at both Judgment and also the Death card coming out here together. This is about thinking about something that you want, something that it's like if you go digging, Pluto, if you go digging all the way to the center of the heart space for yourself, what are you finding there and what's really there? Is there anything there that doesn't align anymore that you're like, I don't need this, I can get rid of this? Is there something in there where you're kind of revealing something to yourself? Is there a dream that has grown and developed that feels more mature and more in alignment with you now? Where are you with all of that? So there's an assessment that's happening here about what you want and what you're looking for. And Nine of Cups is like, what is actually going to fulfill me at the end of the day? Like, what do I truly, truly desire? Especially in like an energetic and heartfelt way. This is a desire connected with cups. So this is emotional fulfillment. This isn't like, I'm gonna go out and get like the biggest house, or I'm gonna have that fancy car or anything like that, or like everybody's going to recognize me as being like that guy, you know. It's not anything like that. This is something where it's like about like an intimate connection, or like a passion project of yours, or a dream that you have, or something that you really care about that your heart is super connected to. So it's something that's very genuine, and it goes so below the surface. It's something very, very deep down there, because water energy is something that like pervades and penetrates and gets all the way down and fills in all of the spaces. So it's at the heart and at the center. So really being in this space where you're kind of taking apart like what you truly want, and what is going to, like, what does that look like to me? And if that materializes, what will that be? What is this feeling that I have? So you may be also like making more heartfelt decisions while still keeping this balance, because first thing that came out was the Queen of Swords and Libra was on the bottom of the deck. So this is about a balancing of the heart and the mind simultaneously. But you may be getting more into the heart space now, while still keeping this sense of objectivity with the air. Looking at, there's something new that you're going to be starting. I'm looking at Gemini, Scorpio, and Pluto here. Seeing something about a new type of offer coming through, or you having the opportunity to do something new or maybe different. It can also be something that happens upon your path that you weren't really expecting, something that may feel a bit random to you, or it could be yeah, something unexpected is more so what this is leaning towards. All right, Hermit, I'm seeing you reflecting. Maybe thinking a lot at this time too. Like maybe kind of getting more lost in your thoughts. There are more things that you're considering. Sorry, I was looking at O down there. This feels like some deep thinking that's happening maybe before a choice, decision, move, like before you go out and do something, before you take action. Yeah. Before you take action, before you make a choice, before you make a decision. Hermit is you being in a space where you're like, I'm not just going to make this decision without thinking about it. I'm going to spend that time reflecting on it. I'm going to think about the choices that I'm making. I'm going to think about how this choice will affect that thing over there and that thing over there and that thing 5 years down the line. So you may be in a spot where you don't feel that it's appropriate to move yet. And you're in a space where you're like, I really need to kind of like find that light, find that awareness, find that answer that I'm looking for. And then that's going to illuminate the decision or that choice for me. So I'm seeing you really thinking about something that you may not have made a choice about yet, but it's coming up and it's feeling important. And like, I need to figure this out. I'm seeing it be connected with the subject of commitments. What you are committing yourself to specifically is what I'm getting. You want to move through this situation as grounded as possible. What's going to help you most is if you have somebody that, okay, you can always be this for yourself. We're going to talk about it as if it's another person for a moment, but this can also just be you. You may have somebody that's coming through that is going to be, King of Cups can be like a guide or like a therapist or somebody that is a sounding board for you, somebody that is objective but in touch enough to give you in touch advice. This can also be you channeling that energy where you are looking at a situation objectively. You're not getting so emotionally involved that it becomes completely subjective, and you're not also balancing this out mentally. This is you being in a space where there's like a lack of attachment to the result. You're in a situation where you're moving through, you're feeling centered, you're not feeling riled up. If you feel ungrounded, you're getting back to a grounded space and making that the primary thing that you do before you then go on and make a decision. And that is what's going to connect you with what you want. Because I'm even seeing this outcome that is going to be happening where you are going to feel much more relaxed. So for those of you that have maybe been feeling some anxiety or been feeling worried about stuff, worried about something, or like anxious about a decision that needs to be made, or the pressure of decisions on you, I'm seeing that by focusing on this like centering and relaxing energy that you're coming back to center. And I'm seeing you get back into a very comfortable groove, or if you hadn't been in a comfortable groove, developing into this comfortable groove for yourself. I'm looking at Virgo here. Remember, all of us have Mercury, all of us have Virgo somewhere in our charts. So don't be distracted by the zodiacs if that brings any sort of confusion up for you. I'm seeing that you're going to be spending some time thinking. There may be like a bit of a pause energy that you're moving through while some things are sorting out. There can also be some stuff environmentally that needs to fall into place before you can move forward as well. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.